Isn't this weather lovely? So we came home for a few days. I just needed to get some stuff sorted. The apartment needed a bit of attention. It was all cleaned. I did everything top to bottom. And this weekend it looks just as bad, and we're going back to the van tomorrow. But never mind. I've got a week off work. Yay! So I am hoping, fingers crossed, we're going to get some days out this time. Let's just please don't rain. I think it's forecast to be okay. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully can maybe show you around a few places. Really want to show you Grattington if I can, because it's just stunning there. I love it. And it's where Mike proposed to me. And we're having a nice meal there as well if we do get there. So what's been happening? Last I spoke to you, I was in a rut. I was stuck. I was finding it really difficult to find anything that I fancied to eat. Now, part of the problem is we had been at the caravan for quite a while. I had been eating a lot of salad and what Mike eats, and he's not got fed up of it, and I have. But when you are at the caravan, you've very little fridge and freezer space. In fact, you have an ice box and a fridge. And I have some tin stuff, cupboard space. So you can't really be adventurous every day and think, what do I fancy? And you can't pop to M&S and get something that you like, because you're not in the middle of nowhere, but it's a 20-minute drive to the nearest shop. So you kind of make do with what's in. And that's what I've been doing. And I've just got fed up. Coming home, I've actually been okay. I've had my kitchen and I've been able to, be a bit more creative with my meals. I've got a nice big casserole that's been separated into portions that I could take a couple of those back to the van with me. So I'm looking forward to that. I've also had a few ideas from my subscribers, so thank you very much. Definitely salmon and roast vegetables is going to be on the menu. I've got a nice big piece of salmon in the freezer, so I'm going to take that with me to the van. Just chop it up into portions, and when it's in portions it's easy to wrap it in foil, stick it in the little ice box, and it'll be fine. So I'm going to get some Mediterranean roast vegetables. That'll be one of my meals. I'm looking forward to it, really am looking forward to it. Bad news. Coming home I got weighed. I kind of knew from my clothes, but I've put on 2 pound. But I'm back on it now, and I will lose it. Absolutely 100%. I'm back to dedicated to fasting, particularly at the moment OMAD, 1 meal a day. Just come through to the kitchen. I'm sort of cleaning up as I go and tidying and everything, getting ready to go back to the van. The kitchen's probably the worst place at the moment. I wanted to share something with you from this week, because it's really been a funny week. I've had a right bizarre week. Coming back, we had workmen that I wasn't expecting, and it interfered with my recording for work. I was doing some videos for work. And it just all sort of like went on from there. I'll show you a little clip of something I found on the beach this week in the morning. How sweet. How absolutely sweet. Now, in Scarborough, if you find a seal and it's come onto land. We all know that seals come to have a rest sometimes. They come out and they sunbathe, they have a little nap, and then they go back in the water. You're supposed to try and see if you can just check for any injuries quickly without disturbing them, just to make sure that they are okay. But there is a rescue charity that I remembered from, I don't think it was last year, I think it was the year before, and they came out to check on a seal that we'd reported. There was 2 of us, we reported it, and the lady knew this number for this rescue place and I didn't, and I'd completely forgotten. So I posted on Facebook asking Scarborough Facebook page, could anybody remember who this rescue place was? Because Sea Life Centre, we have a seal rescue, Sea Life Centre, they have a seal rescue department, and they didn't open till 10, and it was 7 o'clock in the morning. And we've got Whitby Wildlife, who are absolutely brilliant, that come out to, all injured birds and all sorts, and they weren't open till 8. And so I was struggling, thinking, well, I had Willow with me on lead, and I couldn't stand, I couldn't get near the seal to check it because I had Willow with me. And there was 2 of the women that were looking at the seal, couldn't work out what, if there was anything wrong with it, but they had 2 dogs off lead, and it was all a little bit, ugh. So I said to the ladies, I'm going to find out who I need to call and take Willow off the beach, because she was getting all excited. And they'll come and check on it. Anyway, I put it on Facebook, and immediately I got the name and the contact number, the British Divers Marine Life Rescue. Fabulous. So it was about 7:10 at this point. Rang them, answered immediately, and they had a local lady. I took my name and number, and they had a local lady who said that she was going to pop down. She'd ring me to check where it was, pop down and check on the seal. If the seal's fine and just having a nap, what they do is they sit nearby, make sure that the seal isn't disturbed by passers-by or interfered with, or dogs off lead, and they wait for the seal to naturally just go back into the water. But they're trained, so they know if something's wrong with the seal, then they need to take action. Well, I'd got these nice comments, and I'd got it sorted, and then I started getting slated on Facebook, properly slated. People who were making comments that didn't even have to be nasty, but they were just throwing them. Why can't you leave these alone? That's what they do. They come out the water, they have a nap, they'll go back, leave it be. And there was loads of them. And then one saying, you'll have it be kidnapped by the rescue centre and never see the sea again. I was, oh gosh. Anyway, the lady went to see the seal, and she rang me and she told me what she was doing, and then she texted me later and she said, it's a pup, 3 to 4 weeks old, only a little youngster baby, and very poorly. Oh, my heart broke. So the seal had a cerv infection. I'm not quite sure what that is, but a screaming temperature, 40 degrees. So it was in a really critical condition. She got the seal to the vets. They controlled the temperature, antibiotics, and they held it there until it was stable enough to go to a sanctuary. And again, they just kept me updated, which I thought was absolutely lovely. So I put back another post on Facebook to update on the seal pups from the nice people who'd been kind enough to give me the name and number. And put, actually, I'm glad I didn't listen to the crowd, because the seal was actually very poorly. And I was thinking all sorts. I don't know, what if the mum had the infection and she gave it to the infection over to the child, and then the mum died and this little pup was on its own on the beach, and anything like that, it just sets me off. But I am glad that I called them, and I just want to shout out loud, because they're not just local to Scarborough, that they are national. If you are ever in doubt, they don't mind. you know, even if the seal's fine, they don't mind. They will go and check and make sure that the seal's fine. It's marine rescue, so I guess, you know, if you're visiting the seaside or you live near the sea, you might know this already. But yeah, that was a funny thing that happened to me this week, because I wasn't expecting that barrage of comments from what are basically the Facebook experts in seals. And I did say I'm not an expert, and I certainly wouldn't make a diagnosis of a seal and say that it's okay, particularly as I couldn't go near it, and I know nothing about seals. But I am so glad that the seal is now actually recovering in a sanctuary. Oh! So other things have been afoot on the seafront. We had a morning where I went down with my friend and neighbour and her dog Simba, and it was absolutely covered in dead kittiwakes, little kittiwake beds, which we consider as the protected, quite important to the area. And there were dozens and dozens and dozens of them, and they were all dead. No idea what's happened there, and since nobody's posted anything or said anything about them as to what they died of, what happened. It only happened the once, it hasn't happened since, so I'm just very confused about that. And then I came across this. So that was just a photo, hopefully you could see that. I put my foot near it so you could see the size of it. Jellyfish, massive jellyfish. I've seen big jellyfish before, Scarborough Front, but not massive jellyfish like that. They're massive. So it's kind of put me off the paddleboarding and swimming, although I will say, you know, we've got the tourists here and all the kids and everybody, they're still all in the sea. And I have a lady that goes swimming regularly, and she said, you know, they don't bother her. So I don't know, but I think I'm going to give the paddleboarding maybe a miss for a few weeks. So I was going to make myself a spaghetti bolognese, turkey mince one, or sort of half turkey mince, half corn. They didn't have any turkey mince in M&S or chicken mince, so and I don't want to. I found the beef leaves like a real fatty taste in my mouth, so I used to love beef bolognese, and now I just, you know, since I've come off red meat, I much prefer the turkey and corn bolognese. So I might have to do that at the caravan, pop to Morrison's on the way, and just buy some and make it there. The only problem with that is I can't big batch make it when I'm at the van. If I'm at home, I do a big pot of it, put it in portions, freeze it, and then I'll take just a couple of them to the van. So I won't be able to make a lot of it, but that's I'm not too worried about that. So I think that's really been, I mean, it's just a quick video to catch up and let you know that I have got my want for food back. It's not that my appetite went, I was hungry. I've still been hungry all the way through all of this saga. It's just that I lost interest in meals and food. I couldn't think, you know, everything I didn't fancy anything. And so I was hitting sandwiches, eating lots of bread, hence put on 2 pounds. So I need to get over that. So yeah, it's just been such a bizarre week from start to finish. Hopefully my week off is going to be fabulous and I'm going to be really good, and I'm going to have some days out and enjoy myself. And I am going to do my Pilates as well. I'm getting that started. I'm absolutely determined to get started on my exercise program. So thank you for all of your support and for your comments and for your suggestions. I won't be having the sausage mash and onion gravy as much as I'd like to, but maybe save that for winter. But thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Love ya. Mwah. Bye.